between. I'm your host, Kat, and this is Eliza, and we are excited to be hosting the Rumble in the Jungle Awards. We did get offered to host the Grammys, but we thought this was going to be more fun. So in honor of Cupid's birthday, Lover's Day, aka Valentine's Day, we are here to honor tonight the most extreme lovers of the animal kingdom. So our first category in our award show tonight is going to be Mates for Life. So we're going to meet the 3 contenders in the Mates for Life category. Now, many of us wish that we could find that special someone who's going to be with us for our entire life, that's going to make it through those trials and tribulations. It's a lot of pressure. Now, monogamy is actually really rare in the animal kingdom. It's kind of costly. It requires an individual to put literally all their eggs in one basket to find the perfect mate and make sure they're the best one. Am I getting too close to home for any of you? Hopefully this is not like that awkward family Thanksgiving. We don't want it to be like that. Now, while it may not be biological sense, many animals continue the fight to find the perfect mate and their life partner. So our first contender, who you can see here, is the shingleback skink. They're heavily armored blue-tongued lizards that can be found in Western and Southern Australia. They've been actually known to partner with their mate for up to 20 years. Now our second contender in the Mates for Life category is the French angelfish. Who knew fish could be life partners? They are Mates for Life, and the angelfish is especially territorial. He will fight you for his love nest and his lover. And our third contender is the humble pigeon. Who knew those flying rats with wings are actually lovers and mates for life? Now, even when a mate is less than stellar, they snore, they forget to take out the trash, they play video games too long. No, okay, just kidding, not that bad. But actually, they will never give up on their mate, even when their mate is a lame-up. So, they actually are really affectionate to one another. You can see them kissing. They will actually grab beaks and kiss each other. They can be really, really affectionate. But in our Mates for Life category, there can only be one winner. And the winner is the shingleback skink. Woo! Now, let's take a look at the film.
Catches the eye of a man. He starts to follow her wherever she goes. Couples stay side by side for up to 2 months. By gently nudging, licking her. 6 months pass, and then, eventually, the results of this prolonged courtship begin to arrive. But when spring returns, the same male and female will once again seek one another out and mate together. In fact, a pair will remain faithful to one another for as long as 20 years or more.
Okay, so we are super duper lucky to live in San Francisco. When I moved here about 6 years ago, I learned a lot very quickly. When I moved into my roommate's place, she introduced me not only to her boyfriend, but her boyfriend's boyfriend, and so on and so forth. There was a lot of them. So I learned a lot about how love does not always look like it does in fairy tales and in storybooks, and also how many sex clubs are actually in San Francisco. What? Apparently, yeah, I didn't even know. So for our next category, it is how many is too many. First up, this handsome guy right here. Does anybody know what animal that is? Elephant seal, perfect. So, male elephant seals are huge, blubbery protectors and have been called beach masters. They protect their gals when other whales start to move in on them. They can also have as many as 100 girls in their flock. That's a lot. And others will sometimes try to impose on them and do duels to get their 100 ladies. It usually doesn't work because it's usually the biggest guy who's the scariest. And they do things like yell at each other and fun stuff like that. Next up, anybody know what animal this is? A snake. Okay, this is actually a red-sided garter snake. And May is maybe the start of the flowering season, but for these guys, pollinating is the one thing on their mind in May as well. So what happens is thousands of them go to this place in Montego and basically have a big party, if you know what I mean. And it's about 10,000 males to one female. So it can be pretty aggressive. Yeah, and they have been known that the snakes at the bottom of the party are known to actually die because there's so many of them competing for that lovely lady. And you can actually go there and watch this. I haven't, but. Next up, we have the honeybee queen bee who reigns supreme. And I'm not talking about Beyonce. These bees are crazy in love with their males, believing the more sexual partners that she has, the more attractive she is. This promiscuity helps boost the genetic diversity of her offspring. As she takes off on her mating flight, the male drones will fly up, do their thing. This actually causes their penises to explode and they die right afterwards. And she can do this with as many as 40 a day. And then she goes back to her home with her men who are serving her. And she can just kind of pop out the sperm whenever she wants and make babies whenever she wants. Yes, she is definitely a queen. Okay. So, wow, do these animals make me look really boring. Regardless, our winner is the animal who has hundreds of men working for her around the clock and bringing her food constantly. So we'll check out how that mating process happens.
Our next category is the death of a lover. Now, many of us might be familiar with the fact that in the animal kingdom, a lot of animals make the ultimate sacrifice in order to raise offspring. Probably many of us think of a mother taking care of her offspring, or maybe even her unborn offspring and making that ultimate sacrifice. But there are many males in the animal kingdom who give their life just for the chance to spread their seeds. I know we all think Tinder is hard, but this might be a new level. So our first contender is the male Antichitus. How many of you have ever heard of an Antichitus? Nope, me neither. This tiny marsupial is, again, found in Australia, and about the size of a mouse. But during the mating season, the males will copulate with multiple partners right after one another for up to 14 hours at a time. Woo! Woo! After this marathon, males will develop sores, go blind, lose their hair, and even develop gangrene. So eventually their skyrocketing stress hormones burn out their immune systems and they give out completely. Our second contender is the male wasp spider. Now, how many of you with a raise of hands have heard about the female black widow who eats her mate? Anybody? Okay. Now, the black wasp spider is even more violent. So what happens is the male wasp spider will copulate with their mate and allow their genitals to break off inside their partner right before she attacks and eats him. So some thought maybe this helps the male to escape. No, not even close. Actually, what happens is that if this happens where the genitals break off inside, the female just eats it faster. Doesn't save you, buddy. So sorry. Our last contender is the male anglerfish. How many of you guys have seen in Finding Nemo or deep ocean documentaries the anglerfish with the light thingy that comes overhead, big gnashing teeth, giant eyeballs? Those are technical terms, by the way. But this is the male. He looks nothing like the female. He's much smaller and weak and vulnerable. But he makes up for that by having an amazing sense of smell. He actually will sense out the female in the deep, dark depths of the ocean. And once he finds a female, he will bite her. And he holds on, and eventually what happens is his body begins to morph into hers. His skin becomes hers, his bloodstream becomes hers, he loses his eyes, he'll even lose his internal organs until basically he's just a pair of testicles. That's all he is. So I know all of us have probably had that ex that kind of, felt like a parasite, but hopefully they didn't become part of your bloodstream. They might have become part of your bank account. That's a little different. So the female, she actually can carry up to 6 males, or sexual parasites, at any given time. Now, while some of these deaths may have had you squirming in your seat, there can be only one winner. And the winner is the male Antichitis. I mean, he's just got a really long, prolonged, horrible death that I think none of us want. So we're going to watch him do his thing.
Antichitis squeezes its bouts of passion into a few energetic days. In early spring, the male's only goal is to mate with as many partners as possible. Each session lasts several hours, and as soon as it ends, he looks for a new partner. He aims to track down every female in the neighborhood. Subtlety is not his forte. All this activity leaves him little time to eat, drink, or sleep, and in time, the stress starts to wear him down. Although exhausted, rampant hormones urge him on to yet another encounter. But he's feeling the strain. Over the 2-week breeding season, he ages a lifetime. Run down and tired, he is literally on his last legs. All the males are soon gone, leaving the females to bring up the babies. His sacrifice makes genetic sense. More offspring will survive if he isn't there to compete for food.
That music though, right? All right, for our next category in our Rumble of the Jungle Awards is the Don't Need No Man category. We all want to see a world where both men and women are treated equally, but some females in the animal kingdom just have taken this to a whole new level. That breeding thing, we've got it. Hashtag K thanks bye. So in order to do this category justice, you are all going to learn a biology term. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So, I want you to repeat after me. Parthogenesis.
Genesis.
Okay, we're going to put it together.
Parthogenesis.
One more time.
Parthogenesis.
You got it. You're all biologists now. Congratulations. You graduated from the Cat School of Biology. All right. So parthenogenesis means virgin birth. So Jurassic Park, anybody? Life will find a way. That's this. Okay. So scientists sometimes see parthenogenesis in captivity. You may have a female, never been around a male, boom, delivers offspring. But it's even rarer to find this in the wild. It's very, very extremely rare. But we are going to meet 3 formidable ladies who have been able to engage in parthenogenesis without no man. Hashtag all the single ladies. All right, so our first contender is the giant prickly stick. Again, from Australia. Depending on how you think this is going, you might want to go to Australia. Or depending on how you're feeling about this, you might want to stay away from Australia. So, some of the females of this species have chosen not to have a male mate, and they will repel them by fighting them off. They do this by emitting an anti-aphrodisiac chemical and curling up their abdomen and kicking their legs at the males when they try to come near them. So one study stated since females that have started reproducing parthenogenically are no longer attractive to males, such females appear to have the opportunity to continue to reproduce exclusively via parthenogenesis. Basically, once you stop wanting to be around men, you don't go back. You just keep going. So interestingly enough, all the offspring of the virgin births are all female. So this means eventually they could wipe out the males of their species. But it may not happen anytime soon because as much as the females work really hard to fight them off, most of the time the males tend up to win. Our second, that's okay. Our second contender for this category is the marbled crayfish. Now these crayfish didn't even exist until the 1990s. What happened is they came about due to one genetic mutation from a completely different species of crayfish. And that genetic mutation was cloning. So these crayfish they found in 2003, they decided to do some genetic testing, that every marbled crayfish is a female, and all of them are genetic clones of one another. So before they had unraveled this mystery, if we went back in time, back in the 1990s, the marbled crayfish was actually a popular pet. So until a bunch of people started winding up with hundreds of babies because they couldn't figure out where they were all coming from. So some people thought, hey, I'll give them to a friend or give them to a neighbor. Well, other people decided, you know what, we're just gonna dump them in the local creek. So these crayfish have now actually become, are everywhere, they're global, and they're actually starting to compete with local and native wildlife. So our last female of our category is the whip-tailed lizard, which actually can be found in the southwestern United States. This all-female band of lizards is able to retain genetic diversity, which is really hard for animals who participate in parthenogenesis. They actually reproduce with twice the number of chromosomes than their sexually reproducing cousins. So normally if you are a parthenogenic female, you only have one set of chromosomes to pass off to your offspring. They actually have 2 completely different chromosomes, and this helps them to be genetically diverse, not to be inbred, and basically to take over wherever they want. Hashtag, who rule the world?
Girls.
Girls. But again, as much as all these females are amazing, some of you hopefully are feeling a little more empowered, some of you might be feeling scared. We can only have one winner, and the winner is the marbled crayfish. Because really, who can take over the world by just cloning? These guys.
Marbled crayfish might not look like anything special, but scientists say they're one of the most incredible species on the planet. That's because they don't need males to reproduce. Females simply clone themselves to create offspring. Researchers in Germany sequenced the DNA of marbled crayfish for the first time and published the results February 5th in the journal Nature Ecology and Evolution. The study found all female offspring are genetically identical to their mothers, and they all descend from a single crayfish that somehow became able to reproduce without help. These populations, despite not having any males, are thriving in parts of Madagascar, Sweden, Japan, and Germany. In fact, they're doing so well that experts see the freshwater creature as a serious invasive threat to native species. The creatures may be useful. Study authors think the marbled crayfish's unusual ability to turn genes on and off could work with cancer research. For United News International, I'm Deborah Gobble.
Awesome. For our next category, it is sexual fluidity. That might be a new term for some people. So what it means is it's someone's sexual preference changing throughout time depending on the circumstances that they're in. So these next three very different animals will give you a sneak peek on how even in different terrains, sex conquers all. First one is a spotted hyena. So polyamory is big with the female spotted hyenas as they will engage in sex with everybody. Their brothers, sure, their cousins, even their children. Kind of gross, yeah, but that's how they do it. I don't know. So they are also the dominant one in the group. So they kind of make the rules as well. What's really interesting about them is they actually have a 7-inch clitoris, which from far away actually looks like a penis. The length allows them to choose who they would like to have sex with. So if they put it back into their body, they can say, no thank you, not today. Next. And this is a bonobo. So they have sort of a summer of '69 Woodstock sort of vibe in their communities. They are the most sexually active of any other primates, and they will mate with anyone in their communities as well. Best friends, cousins, anybody. So they have no issues with their openness as it's thought to strengthen their social bonds and resolve conflicts. I don't know if that would ever work with us, but it's working for them, so good for them. And our third is a banana slug. Has anybody seen these guys here? They can get they come in very different sizes. The particular thing about these guys is they actually have both sexual organs, so they can reproduce as a female or reproduce as a male. But the catch is they have to find a mate that is similar to their size. So sorry, Shaq and your 5'2" wife, that probably would not work for you guys. But this is for a good reason. Has anybody heard of, okay, I'm gonna say this wrong, population? Population? No? Okay, so this, it's a good thing that you don't. So it is when the penis actually gets stuck and the partner actually must chew it off in order to separate. Some people say that this actually happens if the one who's the female doesn't want you to run off and find another mate as well, but that's not proven 100%. So although it will not grow back following this really awkward encounter, they will still be able to mate as a female. Okay, so this next video for our winner, which is the, who was this? Good job. So this is a tiny bit graphic, so just your warning. There.
Spotted hyenas seem to have penises. Females urinate through these 7-inch long thousands, and they're full of erectile. But since they don't deliver sperm, they aren't actually penises. They're elongated clitorises. Spotted hyenas are the only hyena species to sport these so-called pseudopenises. And while few other female mammals have male-like genitalia, the spotted hyena is the most man-like by far, complete with a pseudoscrotum. All the female reproductive parts are there, but the entrance is so unwieldy that females have to mate and give birth through what's essentially a penis. Mating via pseudopenis is about as awkward as you might imagine. In order to make sex possible, the female actually has to retract her pseudopenis. So male hyenas can't force females to have sex.
So I just want to meet the person who said, yes, I will animate that for you. So our next category in our awards is the Go Man for Gonads. So this is the the part of the show where we're going to talk about really weird and interesting animal genitalia. So just go there with me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be edutalia. Or, I don't know what that word was. Educational. It's going to be great. All right, so our first contender is the duck. So both male and female ducks have an interesting puzzle to their reproductive body parts. Male ducks actually have a corkscrew penis, which has evolved over time in order to fit into the into the female duck's vagina, which is really a labyrinth of twists and turns and dead ends, which, ladies, when you go to the gynecologist, I know it feels like there's a labyrinth in there. It's not, it's okay. Our second contender for this category is the flatworm, a type of sea slug. Now, all flatworms and sea slugs are intersect or have both reproductive organs. And you would think it would be easier for them being intersect, but flatworms fight for the right to be the father. The flatworm has a dagger-like penis that they use to hunt for food, but when it comes to mating, the two flatworms will actually fence each other in order to see who will end up having to become the loser, aka the mother, aka the person who has to give all the energy. So really, I'm going to call Hallmark and tell them we need to put them on the Father's Day card. So what will happen is they'll fence, and then whoever is the winner can go back to his bachelor life. Our last contender is the octopus. Now, you thought they all had 8 arms, right? That's what we were all taught growing up. The octopus has 8 arms. Well, for the male, one of those arms is a sex organ tentacle. Woo! So, while he cannot regrow his sexy tentacle, once it's inserted into the female's body, it will stay embedded in there, and then he will die within a few months. Now, what's even stranger still is this picture here is the blanket octopus, and this is actually the female because the male is 40,000 times smaller than her. But he will still swim up to his beloved, and he will stick his mating arm on her. Not in her, on her. And then he will swim off to die. But the arm will stay there and then start crawling around on her by itself until it finds her gill slit. And then it will stay in there until her eggs have matured, and then she will pull it out, rip it open, sprinkle it on her eggs, and then she will die too. I mean, the most romantic story, isn't it? Well, there can only be one winner, just like the rest of our categories, and it is the octopus. I mean, if you have a self-swimming, sexy tentacle, I mean, you're just going to take home all those prizes. So the next video I have is not of the blanket octopus, but it's octopuses in general, and you can use your imagination. Can you hear it? I think we can turn it up on the computer too. It's only the line of wood. Can you guys hear that at all? A little bit. I can narrate if you want. So basically she pops up and says, "Hello, how's it going? I see you." And he's like, "Sweet, that's awesome. Why are you cleaning your house? That's kind of awkward." "Oh no, there's a tie. Crap. Well, now we have to stop what we're doing. All right, this is a bummer. Total buzzkill. Oh, crap, the tie brought in a male? Another male? A rival male? Well, shoot, I'm going to have to show him." So then, I'm going to swim over to you, and just like any other male, we're going to have a standoff. We're going to stare at each other. I'm going to try to be as manly as an octopus can be. That's what's going to happen. So we're staring. Making eye contact. Nobody likes eye contact. No, they don't. And then what's going to happen is, I'm going to show you my suckers. And hey, I think I have bigger suckers than you. That makes me more manly, because I'm full of testosterone. Oh, I'm really sure I have bigger suckers than you. I'm positive I have bigger suckers than you. No, I have bigger suckers than you. No. Oh, well, we're at a standstill because we can't figure this out because we can't compromise. So now I'm going to have to fight you. Oh, I win. Ta-da! And now the other male has to leave. Oh, so sad for that male. But it's okay, you get to keep your sexy arm. Oh, so now I'm going back to that lady friend. Here, lady friend. Let's chat. So I'm going to stare at you creepily from behind this rock and sneak up behind you. So I'm going to sneak up behind you just so gently, because I don't want to scare you away. And I'm going to take my sexy arm, and I'm going to hold it out like this. So sexy. And then I'm going to stick it right where you want me to stick it. And I'm going to deposit some sperm packets right where you need it. And I'm going to hold this for a really, really, really long time until you basically tell me to stop. But I will hold this for a long time, up to a couple of hours, says the video. For hours. But then, you know, it kind of gets a little awkward when the female tries to leave and your arm is still there. That's no good for anybody. Nobody wants to embarrassingly put that on social media. No, they don't. And now this is the point where he loses his arm and he dies. The end. I'm sorry, go look at National Geographic, the octopus video line. It's actually very funny.
I thought yours was hilarious. Thank you, Kat. Okay, so our next category is most creative mating ritual, which you are a single millennial in San Francisco can be really awkward and weird. These ones are weirder though, I promise. Our first one is the lovely hippo. I love hippos so much. They can be described as a bloated horse, and the females are called cows. Like, how does that make any sense? We should just call them hippos. It just doesn't make any sense why we call them other animals' names, but there they are. So there is one hippo, the dominant bull, the male, that is allowed to mate with the females in their area. This is leaving 90% of the males without a mate. Sorry guys, gotta find a new hobby. I choose karaoke, which these guys actually yell and scream at each other, so they'd be really good at it. Regardless, I didn't think I could love them even more, but when I heard about their mating rituals, it just made me laugh so hard. What they do is if the male likes you, he'll start kind of like trotting over, and then he will start peeing and pooping at the same time, yes, towards her, and then spin his little tail around so it goes everywhere. And, yeah, real cute. And if she's into it, she'll do the same thing right back at them. Yeah, it's real cute. Yeah. Next up, we have the squid. So squids may not seem like the sexiest animals around, but it turns out they are actually pretty deceiving and rude. The male bioluminescent Dana octopus squid uses its beak and sharp claws to pierce holes in its beak before using its penis-like appendage to insert the sperm into the cuts. Really rude. And then the other one is the greater hooked squid. It just bypasses the stabbing part and uses its sperm to just kind of throws it at her, and then it actually sinks into her skin. Yeah, not cute. Seems like the worst way to trick someone into having your children, right? So don't try it at home. Next is our hooded seals. So, has anybody ever accidentally blew a bubble with your boogers? Yes, my best friend does it all the time. It's so cute. Well, male hooded seals actually do something similar to that to get a female to mate with them. They inflate their uniquely large elastic naval cavities and membranes, and it starts to look like a pink balloon. The average hood is 2 times bigger than a football, and the male is like, cool, you are obviously who I should mate with. So, our winner is the hooded seal. So who knew boogers could be so sexy?
From this hood-like bulb on the top of their heads. They use it to demonstrate their manliness, because nothing's manlier than flailing around a hot pink balloon. There is a method to this rosy madness. The males top out at 9 feet, 900 pounds. That's a lot of weight to throw around, a lot of energy to spend. If a bigger balloon can scare off a smaller male, that's a smart strategy.
So, as I wrap up, I hope you guys have learned something. And while the animal kingdom can be fascinating and sometimes disturbing. There can be a lot we can learn from each other. In fact, we encourage you to put a little love into this Valentine's Day with whoever you want, and whatever that means to you and your loved ones. We just want to show you one last example of how we can take this all to heart.